Hello, everyone, and welcome to Canva Basics training. I'm Beth, Digital Comms Manager at Homestart UK. It's great to see so many people here live, but I hope you enjoy the replay as well and do share it with your team members if they're using Canva too. So we've got two things just before we start. I've already said this, but just in case you've been joining, if you're in the office and you have another screen available to you, then it might be helpful to have Canva open and you can be kind of trying to navigate, trying to find where I am as well and kind of follow along. That might be helpful. And if you're watching on the replay as well. And also, you as a charity can get a Canva Pro account for free. So if you don't know this already, Yvonne is going to pop a link in the chat. Yvonne's my glamorous assistant. It's going to appear in the chat, and that is so you can apply for a Pro account. So it might be that you've already got a free account, but you can have a Pro account because you're a charity, and that gives you access to just much more things. If you've been using the free account, you might see that some things have got like a watermark on, or they say like pro at the bottom. Yeah, it just means that you need a pro account. But because we're a charity, we get one for free. So just to highlight that at the top, that's come up quite a few times in the social media forums. So yeah, do apply for one of those. It's really easy to do. I think you just need your registered charity number and maybe a bit of info. But yeah, do apply for one of those because it just, yeah, gives you access to so much more. So this training is Canva Basics. I have a sneaky feeling that after this session, there might be other things that you want more training on. So we will be giving out some, I think we're going to do a Slido for that. That would be really helpful to know if there's anything else and we can pop on some more sessions. It can be really specific things, like if it's video, for example, or something specific. Yeah, we can sort that out for you. But I'm going to be doing a bit of a tour. I'm going to just show you around, hopefully point out some pointers, point out some things that might just be helpful, ways to find things a bit easier, and I'll get into kind of starting a template from scratch, but also like changing up a template as well. And something quite important is the brand kit as well. So hopefully that sounds good for a start for 10. I am gonna share my screen. I'm going to be looking over here. So yeah, if Yvonne, you can be on the chat, that would be great. So here we go, Canva. So this is what you see when you log in. It will look maybe a bit different because I use Canva all the time. I've got a bit of all sorts in here, but when you log in, it just gives you your designs that you've already made. Basically, everything will be on there. And a pointer here is they've changed the search bar quite recently, where you can search now your own designs or you can search in templates. So if there's something where you're like, oh, I'm sure someone made, I don't know, a really great report ages ago, you're able to search for that quite easily now instead of kind of scrolling right down through all your stuff. So I'll just show you a quick example. If I search volunteer, everything, you can click here on show more. It shows me everything that has the word volunteer in the title. So it's a nice, easy way to kind of come back to things instead of scrolling right on down if you've got a load of stuff on there. And also you can click on templates if you want to actually as well while you're searching. All these different bits come up, so you can really narrow it down. Like if you've got loads on there and there's still quite a bit to scroll through, you can always use these little filter bits, which can be handy, or you can click templates. And with Canva, when you search for anything, it kind of keeps your search on. So as you can see, it says volunteer, and here are some volunteer templates. Now, if I don't specify a category, it just shows me kind of anything that picks up volunteer, or I can click something specific. So say poster, for example, and then it shows me all the things that are to do with volunteering. Now, the thing with the Canva templates is because these haven't obviously been made by Homestart, it's all sorts of different people who've made Canva templates, that there's a bit more work to do with those if you choose those, because you'll have to change all the colors, you'll have to change the font, pop your logo in, all that kind of stuff. But what I would say with the templates is that they might just give you a little bit of inspiration. Sometimes if I'm really like feeling like, oh, what do I want on this poster, or what do I want to do as a social media graphic? Sometimes, yeah, it can just give you that little bit of inspiration, and you can always take bits from them. Um, yeah, I will show you. I'll come back to that in terms of like how to pick bits up from them. But I thought I'd start off just when you come to the home page, you can search in your own stuff or in the templates. I found that new search function really helpful. So yeah, all your stuff will be here. And the thing is with Canva, there's quite a few ways to get to the same place. So here they've kind of done these little icons to quickly get to a kind of document, if you will, of shaped to that size. So whether it's a presentation or social media, you can click on these and then it'll kind of come up with popular templates that you can scroll through. You can search and you can do custom sizes if you're not finding what you need. And you'll find, if you scroll down a little bit, there's your own brand templates available and templates as well there. So there's quite a few ways to get to the same place. So it might seem like I'm repeating where you can find things, but it's just handy to know yeah, different ways to get somewhere, I suppose. So yeah, if you wanted to start from scratch with something, you could start either here, if you're like, right, I know it's a social media post, or I know I'm doing a presentation. You can click on these icons, or you can search in here if you want to find a template. You can click here on create as well. Again, that's just a different way to get to the same thing, really. So, homepage, I think that's given you a bit of an idea of what you're looking at, so that when you open Canva, I know that it can feel a little overwhelming because you can do so much on Canva. Yeah, so that gives you an overview really of the homepage. You can have your own projects, which you can have folders. I will show you how to pop things in a folder. That is just if you want to get really organized, if you've got like a campaign going on, or if you've got an event and you want everything all in the same place, you can use the folders. But I will show you how to pop something in a folder in a bit. Templates, again, that's just a different place, a different way of getting to the templates is exactly the same thing. Here is your brand kit. So this shows you brand templates here. If you click on brand kits, now this is really important because it's a bit of something to do to set it up, but once you've set it up, I'll show you when I come into a document how much easier it is when you've got your brand kit set up. So this is where you can come and get your like logos, your colors, your fonts, all that stuff. But you just need to upload it here in the brand kit first. And then I'll show you when you're in any kind of document, how easy it is to then quickly like change colors and things like that because you've popped them in your brand kit here. So obviously I've got one set up already. If it's blank for you, you would click add new, but I would just show you what it looks like. So you're able to pop your logos in. So you can download your logos from Brand Stencil and pop them in here, all the different variations that you've got. You can add colours here. So I'm going to ask Yvonne to just if you pop the link to the brand guidelines in the chat for me, please. So if you're not sure of what our brand colour, well, I know that you'll know the colours, but if you're not sure of like the hex codes that you need, they're in the brand guidelines. So if we imagine these colours aren't here for now, what you would do is click add a new colour. And here you can see this is what's called a hex code. So it's the little hashtag and then the numbers. These have already been filled in here. So these are the ones that you need. They are on the brand guidelines. So what you would do is you would just remove those there and you would start typing one out. So that is the teal. Oh yeah, it's not letting me add it because I've already got it, but you get the idea that you put the little hashtag in there and then it will appear as your brand colors. I'm just going to get rid of that. If you're doing one wrong or want to get rid of one, just hover over it and delete it there. So yeah, you just need this add new here and add new for your logos here to add them. You can add in fonts as well. We use Source Sans Pro. That's what you need. That is our brand font within Canva. It is just a really simple font, and it makes it just really accessible for people that it's like a plain text font. So please be using that. You can add different bits. You can have, like, if you've got a brand voice document, you can add in photos. But for now, I'll show you when we're in a document how to upload photos. You can add graphics, icons, all that kind of stuff. So they are there in the brand kit. So you don't have to come to the brand kit every time. I'll show you when I come into a document of how to access those bits out of your brand kit. But when you've got that set up, it just means that when you click brand, you can pop your different logo in, whichever one you need, the white one or the color one, etc. And you can easily access the brand colors. So it's really helpful. Just takes a little bit of time to just get it all set up. But once it's set up, you don't have to do it again. It all saves it for you. And it just makes it so much easier that you're not having to go into something else, find the purple, each time. It's just available for you in your brand kit. So hopefully that told you everything you need to know about the brand kit. Any questions about that at this point? Are we all good?
I think we've got maybe Elaine, was that a hand up or was that just a twitchy finger?
Sorry, it is a hand up.
It's okay.
I can't see myself, so I can't see what you can see. I'm just trying to do as we go along. I've never seen Canva before. And thank you for doing the session. The brand center, the link that Yvonne has put in the chat. So I've kind of got, and I've named it. Do I now have to upload? Sorry, I might have missed this. Upload all of the logos individually, or do they upload automatically from the link? Does that make sense?
Which link did you pop in, Yvonne?
I popped in the brand guidelines, so that's just some information on at home. It tells you that what all the hash colors are to add, what the fonts and things and the styles and things are. So you would have to add them yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that's great. I've got the brand guidelines, so I just need to now upload my logos, colours and fonts, etc. Thank you. Just being a bit dim.
No, don't worry. I always say, well, I didn't actually say it at the top. I always say no question is a stupid question. And if you're thinking it, someone else might be thinking it. So it's always good to ask your questions. Yeah, to add your logos, you'd click add new here. And you can upload logos here and it should just open your files. So just download your logo file from Brand Stencil, Brand Center, and then you'd have to upload them individually, like each one. And then to add your colors, click add a new color, and you need that little hashtag, what's called a hex code, from the brand guidelines. But when you're on the brand guidelines, there's a page that's got all the colors on and the codes that you need.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I have a question, if I may.
Yeah, go for it.
We have a shared Canva, and the administrator set this up before I started, and I need to take it on, but she can't allow. I mean, I'm in there, I can create things, but things like the brand kit there's more things we need to add, and I can't add them because she can't allow me to administer, and she can't work it out. So I want that to happen, but if not, will I start again? Because we've got the charity account.
Yeah, I would check so if you're on your account, whatever your kind of profile icon is here on the bottom left, you when you click here to your team, just double check how many members you've got and who's there. Cool. If you click on invite people, it seems like a bit of a strange way to go about it, but you get to see the people here. So my team's got 28 people, for example. You click on there and then you see everyone on there. It might be that you need to be an admin to be able to change the brand kit. So I would just make sure that you're an admin, and anyone else who needs to see the brand kit. It's a bit confusing for me because I've always been admin. I don't always see what people see. If that
and I can
makes
see
sense.
I've been added and I'm part of her team, but I need to lead it now because that's my job. But
so you're possibly just down as a team member. I would say put yourself as a team admin, or ask her to do that for you. And then you should be able to access everything.
Thank you.
Okay, drop me an email if it doesn't work, and I can try to help you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I think that's pretty much everything you need to know in the homepage. There is like an AI tool here. I haven't really used that, so I'm not going to pretend to like know that and demo it to you today. There is also apps available, and I think that'll be a bit easier to show you when I'm in like a template to show you how to use those. But that gives you a good overview of kind of the home page. I showed a little bit there of if you need anything to do with settings or anything, it's your bottom left, your little profile picture, whatever that is there. You can go into settings and check anything like your team members, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's I think that shows you enough of the homepage. I'm going to go into a template now. So I'm just going to use something that I've already got and show you how you can change it up. So if you have something that you've already got, you can obviously change the things that you've already made, or it might be that you use one of our brand templates, and that will open up, it will say make a copy, and then it will appear for you. So this should all kind of make sense in terms of changing something that already exists. So I'm just going to pick one of these as an example. So this is a social media post. What I do up here is I always change the name of what it is. So if it's just a new design that you've made, I think it comes up like new design, or if it's a template, it would just be named as whatever the template is called. So I would always go up here, just click in this box and call it whatever makes sense to you. So I always have the size there, so I know, oh, that's an Instagram post. I know it's more the portrait size rather than the square size. And I know that it's about family matters. So that's clear to me and to anyone else if they come in and if they need to use it, they know what they're looking for. And when you're thinking about that search function that I showed you at the start, that make it easy for you to find, make it obvious of what it's called, so that you can easily come back to it. So that's just a little tip. Pop your name in here. You can just type in this box. So when you're in a document of any kind, you'll notice the toolbar slightly changes at the side. So you can go into, I'm going to show you elements. Now this is where you get anything, like literally you can search absolutely anything. You can get photos, you can get shapes, things like this, for example, this little like sticker. You can just search absolutely anything. And a top tip is to use the frames if you're using photos. They're just a nice way to kind of add little elements. I'll show you actually, because I've got one here. I've used like this Polaroid, and what I did, I'm going to stick on this blank template for now to show you. So if I was to search Polaroid, up here and also down here, so again, Canva showing you a couple of ways to get to the same place. You can have a frame here, or you can have graphics. So if you just wanted something just to look like a Polaroid and you weren't adding a picture, you could add a graphic. And whenever you want to use anything, you literally just click on it and it will appear. So it will always appear right smack bang in the middle, which is handy. But then it's here for you to just left click your mouse and you can move it around. So nice and easy. And you can see here, this pink grid is coming up, these lines. So that's telling me when I'm moving it around, oh, I found the middle and then I found the middle again. That just shows you where you are, like on the document. And you'll notice that if you're moving it around, you get this grid that comes up. So you can see it's just this rectangle space. So try to keep everything in here in terms of if there's things that need to be read, like text, for example, it just means that you've got this nice spacing throughout. Like when you go up here, it just means that, you know, this spacing on all sides is the same. So it's easy read, and you know, your text isn't hanging off the edge or anything like that. If you've got kind of smaller graphics, like say, for example, these yellow dots that aren't, you know, if that were to be cut off, that doesn't kind of change anything. It doesn't really matter. You know, they can come out of the grid, but generally I would say stay within the grid because it just means that, like I say, your spacing all be right, and you can use these pink lines to either find just the middle and the bottom like that, find the middle like that, or find the top and the middle or the side, wherever you want to put your thing. Now, because this is a frame up here or on here, this means you can add your image to this. And what you do is you go to uploads. Now, if you've already used it, you'll have all sorts in your uploads. You can only see your uploads when you're in a design, and it's everything that you've ever uploaded, or you can click upload files. So say you've got a nice new image that you want to use, it just opens up. You can click on your image, for example, and it appears here. If it's taking a little while to load, it just might be that the file, if it's a photo, for example, the file size might be quite large. And I think it came up quite quick there, but this like blue little line comes up on your uploads and then it's ready, available for you. What you do is you just simply left click and drag and you go into the box. And so if I was like, oh, hang on, I want the mum to show a little bit more on this image, I just double click and I can then move this image around. So I can either have, I want the mum in, or I just want the daughter. And when you hover over these little arrows at the end, I could zoom in if I just want this little girl in the image. And then you can click done, or you can click enter. And there you have it. So frames are nice and easy. I'll show you another one. Let's go for circle, for example. And again, when you search anything on elements, elements is where you get anything from. You can get shapes, graphics, frames, photos, charts, all sorts of different things depending on what you've searched for. Your graphic is just literally just that, a graphic. So my circle has appeared. And because it's come up as this teal colour, I can go into colour and I can change it. Here, you'll see is where your colour palette comes in handy. So did you see that then, that I can change this circle to be any colour? I'm going to change it to blue because you won't see it. Any colour in my brand palette there. So I'm not having to go into something else, open it up, find the purple. It's all there ready for me. I'm going to go back into elements. I'm going to search circle again. It saves your recents. So I'm just going to click there into circle and I'm going to get a different frame for you as an example. So again, anything with this kind of cloud and nice little scene, that means it's a frame, and that means that you can add any image. If you wanted to see more of them, you click on see more, and there's a bit of all sorts in here. Like I say, Canva's got so much on there. There's lots to choose from. But say, for example, if I wanted this one, I could click on it. It, like I said, it appears smack bang in the center for you. And some graphics you're able to change the color. I'll come on to that. I'll show you in a sec. But when you can change the color, it appears up here. So it's telling me it's orange, when I click on that, I can then change it again to anything on my palette. So again, the power of having your color palette ready and waiting there. And then if I want my image to go in there, I just again click, left click, come over and drag it just into the space. And then I'm double clicking to just expand it if I want to do that. And you can move it around. So depending obviously on what's going on in your image. So I'm just left clicking and just dragging that around. So that gives you just a nice shape that then again, you can move that around to wherever you want it to be. So I'm getting a bit busy on here, so I'm going to just delete those. If you want to delete anything, you just click on it and you just click delete up here. If you want to duplicate it, you just click duplicate there and it overlaps it. So you'll just find your duplicated item again. This is lock, which you probably won't need to use, and comment can be quite handy if you're wanting someone to have a look at what you've done. You can allow people to make comments, and this is how they would make a comment. So I might put something like change this to teal, for example. And then whenever anyone comes back on this, they can click here and view the comment. So that can be quite handy if you're working on stuff as a team. You know, if you don't want to just change it for someone, you could put a comment like, oh, can you change this image, for example. So they're just a few bits that come up when you're on any kind of shape or anything within the design. If you're in the design here and you're looking at the top here, you can delete, you can add a page. When you add a page, it just comes up plain, and it usually duplicates the color. So as you can see, it's that teal color. And if I wanted to change it, I would go up here and I would change it, say to white, for example. And if you want to duplicate, it's just this little plus. So that's really handy if you're working on something and you're like, oh, hang on, I want that version again, but I want to change the background. So say, for example, this one, if I'm like, oh, I need to do a social post this week about family matters, I can come to my family matters, I can duplicate, and then I would just change this up to different colors so that I'm like, oh, I did teal last week, I'll do purple this week. I can change this text and literally just start typing something else, like new edition and now, for example. And then I could change anything here. I could change the color of that. And I could change that text again. So duplicate is really handy, I think, especially when, you know, you've gone to the effort of making something already and you think, oh, I want a similar vibe, or I want exactly the same thing, but I just want to mix it up. You can click duplicate and then you can make something look different, but you've already put that work in and you're not having to kind of do a lot more to change it. Right, I'm thinking what is best to go through next. There's so much to show you, but hopefully this is like an okay speed. Do let me know if you want me to slow down or show anything again. I think we can move on to starting a new template, but I want to just show you how to share things once you've made something.
Beth?
Yes.
Is it worth just demonstrating how to move pages around in the tile function as well?
In this, like moving
So
it.
bottom right-hand side.
Oh, yes.
You want to, yeah, in the grid view.
Yep. So if you've got loads, so this is, if I scroll down on there, that's everything that was on that. I'll call it a document, sort of on that document for these social posts. And yeah, you can move things around. That's just me just clicking and dragging. So you'll find a lot of things in Canva are like a drag and drop. If you're a bit like, oh, how does this work? Just try a drag and drop, because that's the beauty of Canva, really, that it's nice and easy to use. Do I just click that to go back? Yes, I don't really use that view, as you can tell, but yeah, that's just a different view that you can use. And if ever you want to zoom in or out, you can just use this little toggle at the bottom. And if you want to move up or down whilst you're in this view, you literally just click move down or move up, and it just moves it around for you. That can be handy if you're working on something and you're like, oh, hang on, I just want the ones at the top to be to be signed off or whatever. It's handy to just pop them up to the top so that you can send it then to someone and say, oh, can you look at pages 1 to 4, for example. I'll show you at the top here. Share is where you download anything or share a link. So here is where you can generate your link, and you have to change this bit here. So at the moment, only I can access this. So when I click on here for access level, for me, obviously it comes up with Homestart UK, it will come up with your team or anyone with this link. So click whichever, it's going to likely be in your team, but if you are working with someone external, for example, if someone's doing anything on your behalf, you can click anyone with this link. And then here, right next to it, you can click to have what they're allowed to do. So can edit is sort of overall, it's everything because they can edit it for you. So if you're working on something and you're sending it to a team member and you go, oh, can you just have a play with this? I'm not quite sure, something's not quite working right. Make sure you click can edit. Can comment is what I showed you before of adding a comment. So if you only want someone to be able to comment and not to change anything, you can do can comment. And if you want someone to literally just view it and not do anything else, you click can view. So those are the options. And when you click whichever one you want, so I'm going to stick with can edit. When you click copy link, that just tells you here that the link's copied, and then you can send that to anyone. So they'll be able to edit or comment or whatever you've put it as, but that's a good way to kind of share things within your team, or you can search and add someone up here. So if you know someone's in your team, you can just search their name and click their name as well. Here on download is where you download anything. But it's just handy to know the kind of differences. So it will usually come up with a suggested file type here that makes sense in conjunction to kind of what it is. So say, for example, if it's a presentation, it'll probably go to PDF. This is for social media, so it's took me to PNG, but you can change it if you need to change it. So a quick overview, it does tell you here, so it's quite handy to know what you're thinking, which kind do I need? You'll probably stick with the suggested, but if say you're working with a designer or you're getting a roller banner printed or something like that, you might need a certain file type. So just make sure that you're up here and you're clicking the right one. I would use JPEG for images. It just is a smaller file type. Use PNG for anything like this on the screen. So anything where you've added different elements, and for social media as well, use a PNG. PDF, we all know what PDF is, but that's the standard one. So just any documents, anything that you're sending via email, but PDF print is what you would need if you were then getting that printed professionally. So say, I don't know, you're printing off a presentation for something, for an event. You probably won't need this, but CVG, if I can speak, is for like web design and things. So if there is anyone working on your website for you, and you've made something to go on your website, that could be helpful. You'll need MP4 video when you're using video. A GIF is just those short clips with no sound, and you can get a Microsoft PowerPoint document as well. So that's sometimes quite handy if you've made a PowerPoint in Canva, so you want it to look nice, so you've done it in Canva, you can then export it as a PowerPoint. So that's just a quick run through. It does tell you underneath, so it's quite handy. But yeah, JPEG for images, PNG for kind of anything for social media is kind of mainly what you'll need, I think. If you want a transparent background, which, say for example, if you've got something and you've put your logo on it, or if you're trying to get your logo with a transparent background, it's a handy way to get a transparent background because it just takes it away from you. And transparent background means that it doesn't have a background, basically. It makes it transparent. So for example, if you've got your colour logo and if you put it onto a document that was, say, like a white background, if you wanted to not be able to see the background, you would tick transparent background. If you didn't tick it, it would have that white box. You know, sometimes when people pop their logo on something, it has the white box around it. If you didn't want the box, you can tick transparent background and it will take that away for you. I'm not sure if we'll get around to it today, maybe in a different session, but you can remove backgrounds as well from images, which we can always go into at a later date, because I'm already like, it's 22. How did that happen? So yeah, this is where you download things, you can tick transparent background, and here you need to make sure that you've got the right, they call it a page. So anything like this is my page 1, this is my page 2, it's telling me here. You can add a title, by the way, here as well. Otherwise, it just downloads the file saying page 1. You can click all pages. So say I wanted to download them all, I would click all. I can click current, or I can select. So say I just want that one, and that one. Click done, and you can download. It usually has this preference of saving your download settings, so that's quite handy. If you come back to it, it'll remember you want a PNG. It'll remember if you wanted a transparent background, so it's quite handy that it does that. If you want it to do that, just make sure that is ticked and you click download, and then it will it comes up here that it's downloading, and it will appear in your download files, or if you're using Google Chrome, it'll appear up here. If you tick more than one thing, it will always zip your files. So that's just one thing to remember, that if you're ticking more than one thing, it'll zip it. So if you show in folder, you will have to extract them. So you just click extract all, as you would a zip file. So if you don't want to faff around with that, you could always download them separately. Sometimes I forget it's in a zip file and then I'm like, why can't I see my things? Yeah, you just need to extract them. Okay, have we got time for, I'm going to quickly show you just how to start a template from scratch, and then we'll come to Q&A at the end. So I'm gonna go into social media, I think. So I could go here, remember, you can click create and everything comes up here, or I can click one of these shortcuts, click here, and I'm gonna go with this Instagram post. So remember, they've changed the sizing on Instagram. So it's not the square anymore, it's this portrait. So I'm going to click in here, and it'll always come up as just white background for you whenever you start a brand new document. And remember, you can click here to change the title. So if I didn't change it, it would just, they'll all be called Untitled Design or Instagram post or whatever. So make sure that you're renaming whatever it is in here. I am just going to call it Instagram post for now. Make it clear to you what it is. So starting from scratch here, I would just click, if I wanted to change the color, I would just click anywhere on it and this comes up. So I would change the background color. Again, I've got my color palette ready and waiting for me. So I will just choose whichever color I want, and I'm going to go purple. Coming back to this toolbar on the left, if I wanted to add text, I can just click here on text, and it subs out like heading, subheading, and body. You don't have to worry about it too much because you can change the size and make it bold and things like that anyway. So when you click on these things, you get a little text box coming up. So I don't tend to use body because it's tiny. But this is my heading. So again, I'm just dragging and dropping. So say I want it at the top here. If I want it bigger, I'm increasing the size. And note that when you're increasing the size, if you're doing it that way or if you're doing it this way, you can pull on those little arrows. Either way, you're getting the same thing and it's telling you up here. If I'm scrolling, it's letting me know how big I'm going. But did you see that it moved? So when I'm going like that, can you see that it's like going off the edge there? So just make sure that you're coming back to your box. So I'm dragging and dropping again. And if I wanted to make it bold or change the color, I'm just double clicking in here to highlight all the text, or you can Control A, and I can change the color in here. So again, I've got my color palette ready. I'll go with yellow and I'm going to want it bold. So that is where you start off with your text, and I'm gonna just change this to just something a bit more relevant. And there, did you see that I just grabbed these arrows here and just moved it across because I want it to be in my box. So now, because that's too big to kind of fit on one line, if I want it to fit on one line, I could just decrease the size and it will appear to be the right size in the box. If I go a bit bigger again, it's showing me, you know, that you've got the space there, the paragraph space, or I can make it smaller. If you wanted it like this, but you feel like the gap between the text is too big, you can use this little T with the bar underneath to change the line spacing. So it's a bit annoying how this appears. So sometimes I like to use the toggle at the bottom. Can you see there? To make that smaller so that I can see. Oh, hang on, I need to make it even smaller. Because here I can change the line spacing. I know I've made it really small, so hopefully you can see that. But can you see that it's moving around, so I can move that up a little bit. You can also change the letter spacing. So I'm not sure if you can really see that. It is frustrating that it comes up over your design, but
you can drag the
can you?
bar. I can't remember how you do it, but you can drag it.
Oh, okay. It's not letting me click on it. There's surely some way to do this. Oh, you could get it up here. So actually, if you click on more, it comes up here. That's loads better, isn't it? I knew there'd be a way. So yeah, as you can see, I've changed the line, the letter spacing there. And that's just a way, because as I was saying about the brand font, although it's great because it's really accessible, it's like a plain English kind of text. It just means that you can kind of mix it up a little bit and make it look slightly different by using that line spacing. And you can, well, the line spacing, sorry, is the line like that, and your letter spacing is like that. Obviously, just make sure that it is still legible. I wouldn't go too far with it. But yeah, that's just a little top tip if you feel like there's too much space there. Just whilst I am on text, so if you click any of the text on there, your text bar comes up here. So like I've said, you can change the font size, color, bold. These are all pretty obvious for you. Strike through, you possibly won't be using that. This is handy if you've left caps lock on. I'm always one of those people that ends up doing that. You can click this little button, and as you can see, you can go in between. So if you have written something out and you want it to be caps or vice versa, yeah, you can click that. So that's nice and easy. All this kind of stuff, you know it from Word. Here's your alignment, and the more you click, you just click every time to let it change. nice and easy. You can have bullet points, and if you click again, you get a number. So that is how you get any of your kind of list things. And when you, it's just like Word really, when you paragraph space, you get another one. And it'll come up like that. So when you click, it's number, bullet point, or nothing. That is the spacing that I just showed you. You can do transparency as well, which just, as it says on the tin, changes the transparency. You can do the effects. I'm just going to get rid of that bullet point in a second. So I don't know if this might be getting a bit further than basics, but there's all sorts of bits that you can do with your text. You can have a play around with this of kind of lifting, so making it kind of come off the page a little bit more. You can add a shadow. You can change the color of the shadow. You can do an outline. There's a bit of all sorts on here that you can do that just maybe add a little bit of fun. You can add a background and again sort of change all different bits, the roundness of it, and change the color of it. If you've had a play and then you're like, oh, actually, I don't want any of those, you just go back to none at the top. And another one that might be helpful is you can get your curve from here as well. So if you want some nice text that goes around something curved, you can make it curved. And if you need to go in to change anything, so say I want to just get rid of that exclamation mark, you just double click in your text and you can change it there. So that just gives you a little flavor. I think maybe if we do another session, we can kind of go into things a bit more in depth, but that gives you an idea of your text at the top. You can also animate, but I think we'll get to that at a different stage because there's all sorts of things that you can choose for that. I'm aware of time, so I'm just going to quickly try and finish this off. So if I wanted one of my frames, I could either click on frame or I can go in my recently used. So because I've got the curved text, I'm just going to keep that there. I'm just going to get rid of that little subheading. I can upload my picture. I'm just going to go for anything. And I could add my text at the bottom just to say something else, you know, like apply now or callers or something like that, like a nice call to action. You could add your text in here. One thing I did want to show you is this is where, again, your brand kit can come in super handy, is that if you wanted to put your logo on your graphic somewhere, you can find your logos here. You can always click see all if you can't see them all. I'm just going to use this one. And again, like I say, whenever you click on anything from here, it goes straight into the middle for you. Oh, I didn't like that because I had a frame. I'm going to move it down. And just using these to resize, again, just using left-hand click, and I'm just dragging it around to where I want to be. I'm going to find my pink box and I'm going to pop it there. It's handy when you've got a few things on, you can find this spacing as well. So it's part of your pink lines, but that's letting me know that if I keep that text there, I'm just going to make that white so you can see it. If I leave that text there, that there is equal spacing between those things. So it's showing me 80. If I moved things around, if I had a few more things to kind of for it to interact with, it would tell me different levels, but it's just telling me that if I pop that there, it is in equal distance. So that's quite handy to know, especially if you've got a few things going on, if you've got a few graphics and things like that. Yeah, just find your spacing, find your middle. And I'm going to go back to elements quickly and what shall I search for? Say smiley face. If I want a nice little graphic, I can click see all. And this is where, when you click on some of these, sometimes you can change the color and sometimes you can't. I'm just going to choose this one. And when the colors come up here, it lets me know that I can change those. So I'm going to change it to our yellow. I'm going to change it to our purple. And then again, I can move this around. I can pop it wherever I need to go. So that's how you would start a graphic. I mean, obviously this isn't the end result, but it just gives you an idea of how to add text, how to add a graphic, how to add an image in a frame, and how to pop your logo on it as well. I'll breathe for a little minute.
I was gonna say, take a breath.
I'm aware that I've gone through quite a bit of stuff, so I'm going to pause. I know we've only got eight minutes left. Yeah, I'm going to open the floor to questions, or if you want me to show you anything again.
So we do have a list of questions that I've gathered as we've gone through. So somebody asks, can we have some updated icons?
Okay.
You seem to have ones that local home starts don't have available to them. So could they maybe be shared in the social media group, or
yes, yeah, definitely. Are these the ones that people were talking about? These home start ones.
Thumbs up. Yes, those are the ones.
Yeah, I have all those. Let me pop that on my list. And if anyone's not in the social media group on At Home, then I'll just give it a little plug to join that. I'll pop those in.
I'll pop the link to it in the chat box as well in a mo.
Thank you.
So yeah, so again, it's just somebody's asking, can we share templates? I think there are some templates to Canva already in the social media group, and I know Ducky shared some templates for Canva for the London Marathon and things. So yeah, I think it's all social media group on At Home, isn't it? That's the place.
That's where I tend to share stuff. Or say, for example, if there is something going out, like 1 million minutes is a good example because I'm working on that at the moment. So when that comes out, there'll be like probably a news piece on At Home, and then there'll be links out to different bits like the social media graphics or any posters or anything. Yeah, so now what I'm trying to do is anything that I make, I'm trying to make it a template so that you're able to change it and to pop your own logo in and your own photos, things like that. It's just, as you can probably tell, Canva's way more flexible than Brand Stencil. We'll still have that because it's still great to be able to get your images off there. But yeah, we're moving to using more Canva templates just because more home starts are using it rather.
There's a question around the font. So we use Source Sans Pro as part of our brand, but is there an alternative font that we can also use on designs?
That is the only font. The thing is with Canva is it doesn't actually have all fonts. I'm guessing it's to do with like licensing and things like that. So for example, you can't get Calibri or Arial, things like that. So we've picked Source Sans Pro that is the closest to our brand font. That is Calibri internally that we use, and then like Open Sans, you could use that. That's again more of like an open font. It's very close to Source Sans Pro though, so you kind of not. I don't know. You could maybe find that there is slight differences, but I would stick with Source Sans Pro or Open Sans to be on brand. There's sometimes within graphics, so let me go back like up to elements. Can I think of an example? Oh, like say if it was Easter, like so random, but it might be that you want to use like a graphic that exists. Now, what I would say is that obviously you're kind of let loose on Canva and you can create stuff that is off brand. Obviously, I'm gonna ask you to please be on brand as much as you can. Try to kind of stick to things that are similar and things that you can change change the colors. So let me just quickly show you this for example. So say this one, I'm able, because as you can see the colors come up here, I'm able to change those. So you can make this look more on brand as you're able to change those things. Whereas, can I find one? It won't play now of one that I can't actually change. Oh, these are all changeable, but if it doesn't come up here with the color, it means you're not able to change anything in there. So I would stick away. Oh, I can't find one now that doesn't have it, but you know what I mean, don't you? That you're not able to change the colors. These are all coming up, able to change. I think a
They've
lot.
just had a massive update and they've
Yeah,
put far more on that are changeable.
yeah, I think so as well. I've noticed that. But yeah, so what I would say is just try to stick to the font, please, because that's our brand font. That's one that we use. We've chosen it because it is accessible. Like I've said, it's easy read. So we really should be using that. And you can use the text effects to kind of bring it out a little bit, change the spacing perhaps, make it bold, that kind of thing. You can make it look slightly different, but you do want that consistency with your font. So keep using that one, but you could maybe mix it up with having some graphics that have some text in. But I would say, yeah, try to choose things that don't, that aren't like not very accessible, that are too like squirrely font, that are hard to read, things like that. Like try to stick to things that are like the font that we do have. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. You'll find me using some of those sometimes. The graphics where you can have a little bit of a different font on the awareness days there, where I usually try to find something just a little bit different, but still feels, on brand for Home Start. And if you're ever unsure of that, like if you are creating something and you're like, can I get away with this? Can I use this? You can always drop me an email or a Teams message. I'm always available. Hope that answers the question. Have we got time for just one more? Oh, Sue has got her hand up. Can I just come to Sue?
Yeah.
Just a question about the big branded letters that exist in caps. They are all supplied separately. So we often use those for headings, and
Yes.
applying each letter into a heading takes ages. Are they available as a font?
They're not available as a font because they have been made for us specifically. So yeah, if you are using them, you're gonna have to use them separately.
Yeah.
What I would say is that once you've done something, you can copy that. You can group them as I'll just quickly show you. If anyone needs to go, because I know we're going to come to time now. If anyone needs to go, do jump off. But I'll just show you here. So, and again, these are available. If people don't have these, I can put those on at home. So I'm going to just quickly spell out a word. It's annoying because they're not in order. But say I have a word here. I know this is quick, but it's just to show you, just getting them in line with each other. So again, use your spacing, use the little lines. Sometimes, depending on the size of the file, you might just need to go a little bit closer. So when you're happy with it, I think that one's a little bit bigger. Anyway, when you're happy with something, and if you want to be able to like lift that up as one, in this case it's a word, but if you've created something with like a few elements in, if you scroll over it, so I've just clicked and I've dragged it over, group comes up here, and then I've got that now as a word. So it can just be a little bit more helpful for, so now I can copy and paste that just using like Control C, Control V. I've got it as a word. So yeah, it's kind of one of those. Once you've made a few, it'll be a bit easier to kind of copy those over. If you group it all together and then copy it, you've got words, that are already made ready for you. That just might help you. But yeah, they've been created as separate graphics. So yeah, they are separate, unfortunately.
And if you just click on those three dots there, Beth,
Yes.
You can download just that section. So if you
Yes.
wanted to write Home Start, you could download that section.
Just
You
click
could have
here.
it as a transparent background. You could then upload it again into the uploads, and then you could use it as an image. It's a little bit of a sort of long-winded way around getting Home Start and certain words in those letters, but it does save you time in the long run.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's just here on download. You
Canva.
download it and then you can pop it in your uploads. Yeah, hope that was helpful, Sue. I know that we've come to time now, but I wasn't sure how many more questions we had and if people wanted to stay, but if you need to go, do feel like you can drop off.
So I feel like I've answered this in the chat because it did come up. There was a
Okay.
question around, can you import your publisher files and things that you've made in Publisher into Canva? Quick Google search says no, but you can convert your Publisher files or your things that you've created into PDFs and then upload those to Canva.
Yeah. So I've discovered recently that I'll just go back home. If you upload a PDF, it does come up on your uploads. It's in documents. You can actually make something editable. So a little sneak peek of something that we're doing for you is making the volunteer leaflet, a Canva template, and all I did was go to uploads, upload files, or you can drag and drop into this bit, but I just uploaded the PDF, and then when it came up on screen, it's now like made that editable. So yeah, I don't think you can do it. Well, if Yvonne's Googled it, you can't do it with Publisher, but if you convert to a PDF, you are able to upload PDFs. So then, yeah, it's a really handy way actually to change things, especially if you've been sent something via PDF and if you don't have like an Adobe package, you know, you'd be able to change things within a PDF. Just make sure. So for this, because I knew I had a trifold leaflet, I created a new, I'm just going to go back to home again. I created a new document. I think I searched template actually because I needed the right size for a trifold. But say, for example, if your PDF was like an A4 poster, I would search A4, and then I would either create blank or choose a template, and then you've got it. You go into your uploads, upload your file, and then your poster, if it is that in the example, your poster would appear and then you can edit that. So that's actually changed more recently. It's a really good feature actually that you can upload and make something editable. So yeah, if you've got stuff that already exists and you're like, oh, I've already spent work on that and I just want to be able to change it more easily within Canva, you can pop it in here and then, you know, change all sorts of things, add funder logos, whatever you need to change. So that's a really nice newer feature actually that you can edit PDFs now. Any more questions?
So just one last question. Can we have more photos of images of volunteers not wearing t-shirts? Maybe not a question for here, but who should she ask?
That's fine. I can pass it on with my team. Me and Jen work on getting photo shoots done. Now what we say to people is, can you bring your t-shirt or have a changeable outfit so that you can wear a t-shirt? And we're making sure that we're getting photos with and without, because we know that obviously your volunteer, unless they're like a group volunteer, they're not wearing their t-shirt, which is totally fair enough. But it just means that we have them because for like marketing purposes, you want it to feel obvious that they're a volunteer, because otherwise you're kind of like, who's who are these people? So it just is good for us in terms of saying like, hello, here's a volunteer, but we understand, you know, that doesn't reflect what volunteers wear. So on photo shoots now, we make sure that people bring a t-shirt, but we're getting them in plain clothes, as it were, and we're getting them in t-shirts as well. So yeah, that's definitely something from all photo shoots kind of from this year that we're doing. We're asking for with and without. So you should start to see that more. And just an update whilst we're on photos is that Jen this week is uploading some new photos to Brand Stencil, so they will appear. They will we'll do an announcement on At Home. The cookbook images are on there as well with some nice kind of white background portrait style photos. We've got a Dad Matters photo shoot coming up in August. So there are things booked. There are photos on their way. We know it's been a while since we've been able to have some photo shoots. So yeah, they are coming just as a side note, but we'll always announce it on At Home that there's new photos for you, and they'll be on Brand Stencil. And just whilst I'm on Brand Stencil, if you ever need a login or you can't get on or you need to add people, it's me that you need. So do get in touch if you need any logins or adding people, let me know. Okay, I'm sorry that we've overrun, but I hope that was helpful for people. We'll wrap up now, give you back your afternoon, but thank you so much for joining live and for watching the replay. Yvonne, are we having a Slido? Can you just talk a little bit about that for me, please?
Yeah, I've shared it in the chat, and what I'll do is I'll leave it open and I'll share it on the recording as well until the I think it's like the 7th of August my account allows me to keep it open for. So do fill out the Slido if there's anything else that you want to see around Canva or sort of any kind of training for building assets and things like that. Drop it in the Q&A, I think it's called. Slido, the link is in the chat. It's jumped up a little bit, but I'll reshare it again. And yeah, it just gives us a bit of an idea of what it is that you guys want to see. So we can put something useful out there for everyone.
Yeah, happy to do more training. If people need, do just pop it on that Slido so that we know. I don't know what I don't know, so let me know what you need help with, and we can pop on some more sessions, or even if you want me to go through a bit more detail of anything that we've done today. But there's plenty to go with on Canva. There's loads on there, and I don't want to overwhelm you, so we'll try to kind of break it down into different sessions if that's what people want. I'm happy to go with what's most helpful for you. So yeah, thank you again for your time. Thank you for joining, and yeah, hopefully see you soon.